on the pole. It's going to be brand new qualifying. I tell you what, if we were to run the All-Star race, the thing, you really got caught up in all that much. But man, thanks for joining me in the booth tonight, buddy. Moore down from the Truck Series in here. He's going to be looking to try to steal a win. This time it is with the Xfinity cars. As you can see, just like it, she's got a soft spot in her heart for Cowboy Matt. Well, let's say Cowboy Matt doesn't win tonight, and let's say she picks.
For the most part, but it was very fun.
Yep, one right there at your home track in Bristol. That was through here. Yes, you got 21 in Sledgehammer. You got the 61 of Mountaineers and. Our Cole 315 Cowboy Matt in his 19 High Rock throwback.
Yep. Sledge for the lead. 15 pushed up a little bit there. Probably running a lower preset, as you would imagine. That's the kind of the versatility you get in this preset.
Used to be all over the streams, him and Master Killer. Speaking of Master Killer, he's actually in the race tonight. And I will have a little bit of help as far as laps and some issues that may occur on track.
We're really going to hope that we can make it all the way on tires.
One groove racetrack. You got to try to figure out the Finesse. Welcome to the chat, sir. Good to see you. Looks like Finesse is rooting on Boehner, trying to go for 3-0, 3 in a row, with Mountain and Battlers Dig. Right now, looking so far so good. A whole lot of give, a whole lot of take, but they're keeping it clean, keeping it green. It looks like they're getting a little bit of separation between each other. The truck race was a lot of side-by-side, fast-paced racing. I'm ready for tonight's race. How you feeling?
Confident, man, and the cool thing is, of course,
Mountaineers, let this thing get really racy and then attack. Go for it. These guys have had 2+ weeks to practice. They're going to make contact a little bit, so are these guys. So looks like Bowen's kind of dropped back a little bit. Looks like some of the guys that might have taken tires earlier are really going to start moving their way to the push.
And here comes Larson. Larson to the bottom of the track. Job. Trying to take the lead away. Good job.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallant
at some point it might do the same thing again tonight. But right now they're getting those last-minute instructions from the one and only NNR Xfinity. Guys ran this series all season long and done a phenomenal job keeping everybody kind of in line, answering any questions, kind of really helping Coe with all the points throughout the season and whatnot. So, big shout out to Smitty as well. So this Thursday night, I'm going to go ahead and remove this Madison Rising information now. But this Thursday night, guys, don't forget last Thursday nobody picked the correct top three. HC sister Mama Bear almost had it all, but when with like 2 to go or something like that, there was a little bit of a lag between the 18 of Rowdy and the 48 of the Aviator, and it sent the Aviator back, and that allowed more smoke to pass him on by on the low side, and nobody had the 48, the 18, and the 9 of More Smoke as their top three. So the money carried on. So this week the race is worth $80. $80 if you can correctly choose the top three before the end of stage 2, and you're still here for us to call out your name at the end. But seeing some invitations pop in. Smitty invited me, so did Bowling. I know Bowling's got to be ready to go. It's going to be a phenomenal race for him, hopefully. But yeah, as you can see up top, again, it's the final eliminated round chase race for 2020. After this, it's all about Atlanta next week and crowning a new champion. Watt Racing is trying to defend his title in the trucks against at least Asbel. Here it's we're gonna have a new champ because Smitty's not defending his title. So either Asbel, Parsville, Fatless, and whoever wins tonight, either on points or by virtue of a win, will be locked into that race, and we're gonna see how this all unfolds. I'm really excited for it. Let's see. I'm gonna shorten that up just a tad. Where to go? There it is. All right. Actually, scratch that. I'll fix that here in just a little bit. But they should be taking 2 pace laps. So the guy that's got to win tonight, either win or get through on points, is actually starting from the pole. That's going to be the 28 of Boehner, a guy that already knows that he's racing next for a championship. The 11 of Parsville to his outside. Then you got the 81 of Smitty on the inside P3. 98 of Bowling. He's going to try as well. The 84 of Old Cheeseburger's really been turning it on as of late. 97 of Fatless Dig, 66 of Mike Honcho. There's the 1 car of NNR Asbel, the 19 of Cowboy. Again, I'll have his stream up. Thank you very much for the help, sir. 8 car of Augustus, and that's the 95 of Papa Bear with the 9 of Q-Dog back there as well. But going down this backstretch for the last time before we see the green flag wave, it's going to be one hell of a race, about 250 laps. These guys are going to get it done. Coming to the Geico restart zone, it's going to be that 28, a little loose under throttle, but here we go. Takes a little bit for these guys to get into the rim, so you see the 28 of Boehner kind of shoot that corner a little hot, but I have no doubt in my mind that these guys will be battling all night long. I'm sure we'll see a few bumpers and maybe a few hot tempers, and man, who knows? But it's gonna be a good race. We only got about 10 or 11 cars on track. Most of it is the people that are part of the championship. Definitely the top championship 3 and the championship hopefuls, and the guys that have been great enough to stick the entire season out, even though other leagues have opened up. They just said, NNR is my home. I've been here all season long. I'm going to run it the full distance, and yeah, they're proven why they're part of the best in presets on the Xbox, hands down. Still going to go on through. Back again to Smitty, right behind the no, I don't think that's the 84 Cheese. There's the 84. Yeah, so the 84 Cheese right now in P2. Cheeseburger's had a phenomenal few races. He's he's taken like the last 2 or 3 poles. Done a great job in the races. Has been racing pretty clean. Don't really hear a whole lot about him in any post-race gripes or anything like that. Cheese has really been turning it on and doing a great job. I'll be really happy when I hear that Cheeseburger will actually be returning for 2021, whether it's in a Cup car or Xfinity or truck, depending on which 2 series we're actually going to run next year. Again, Coe and Stout, they did say that we're only going to run 2 series next year. One will definitely be Cup, and the other will either be truck or Xfinity. When I reached out to Watt Racing, asking him, hey, if it's not trucks, would you come back and run Xfinity? But for him, it's really all about the night that the races happen on. So we'll have to see. But Combat Beast, thank you very much for coming on out, hanging out. We've got about 60 laps left here in Stage 1. These guys just kicked it off. There's 97 of Fatless Dig. Again, Fatless knows that when we get to Atlanta next week, he is racing for his first championship, right along with Asbel and Parzival. Right now, Boehner is up front, right where he needs to be, trying to extend that lead, get out there, and just do what he's got to do. Grab max stage points in Stage 1, max in Stage 2, but ultimately he wants to be, irregardless of what happens in the stages, he wants to be up front to see that checkered flag wave first, so that he's got it done, and we all know that he's fully capable of it. But here is Boehner again looking back. You see the 84 Cheeseburger. Boehner right now coming off of turns 1 and 2, going down into 3 and 4 that quick. These guys are pumping out laps about every 20 seconds, so it's not going to take long to run the 250 laps that it would complete the full distance for tonight's race. Unfortunately, it's not like real NASCAR where once we get to halfway, we call it on account of rain or something like that. We want to see these guys run it full and get it taken care of. Oh yeah, Boehner's absolutely here for redemption after Homestead. Boehner had a wicked loose car at Homestead, and I talked to him, and I talked to a few other people about his car at Homestead, and he said during all of his practice laps, he was never ever once anywhere near as loose as he was that night on the track, and so he had a horrible loose car in the Cup race. In the Xfinity race, he got wrecked out. Definitely don't want to see that later on. See the 95 of Pop Bear. He's going to go ahead and take it on down pit road. Not quite sure if he got force pit due to some kind of contact in the back, or if he's just saying, okay, I know if I pit now, I can make it all the way. Wouldn't need to stop inside of his fuel window. In fact, I can almost guarantee that's what it was. As I look at Cowboy Matt's stream, he's got 50 laps in the tank and 50 to go. So with Pop Bear pitting out, he can go the extra distance, or he can go the distance from here, I should say, and he'll have the freshest tires for a few laps, maybe make up a spot or two. Back to the 11 here of Parzival. I think I just, hold on. I thought I just heard somebody crack the door to the booth. Is that Swats or is that Boehner? Or Swats or Stout, rather?
What's going on, Pete?
Hey, what's going on? How are you, Swats?
Good. I seen if you could give me an invite, and I'll hang out with you here.
Yeah, absolutely. Smitty kind of surprised me saying that you were going to come on out and hang out. I guess I didn't see that in the chat, but glad to have you along, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I just I didn't want to get in the way after Sunday's race of finishing 5 laps down. I was like, I ain't gonna get involved in this Xfinity playoff run and ruin somebody's race and spin out or cause, some sort of issue and ruin somebody's chance of getting in. So I figured I'd just sit out and call a race with you and enjoy it that way.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. I'm trying to find it here. There you are. Okay. I passed right by. I was looking for you in the S's, and I forgot you were in the N's. Let's see. All right, so there's your invite. As of right now, Boehner's out front. He's led every single lap so far. They've got about 45 laps left in stage 1. The only car that I've seen go down pit road so far has been the 95 Old Papa Bear. Everybody else still out on track. Been paying attention right here to the 11 of Asbull, the 81 of Smitty. Asbull, Fatless Dig, and of course Parzival. They all know that they're locked in for next week when we get to Atlanta Motor Speedway. The question tonight is, will Boehner be able to complete what he's starting right now later on in the race and get it done, or if will F&L Bowling perhaps make his way to victory lane and lock Boehner out? There's so much that could absolutely happen tonight. But if Parzival, Fatless Dig, or Asbull actually win tonight for their second time around, that would push Boehner through just on his points alone that he's worked so hard to build up all along.
Yeah, you got a bunch of scenarios here. You got Augustus, who's your past Xfinity champion, who, if he doesn't have something big happen tonight by trying to come out and win, that's your past champion from last year that's not making it to the Final Four. Then you got Fatless, who ran well on Sunday, so he could slide up into that 4th spot and knock Boehner out. He could knock Bowling out. Cowboy could get in there. There's all kinds of scenarios tonight.
Yeah.
Fatless
right
is already in, sorry.
Yeah. No, you're.
So you got Q-Dog, Cowboy, Augustus, and Bowling, who could all win and knock Boehner out, who's your points leader through the entire season almost.
You got it. Yeah. I mean, when Boehner came in, I think he joined a little bit later than some, but the way that he came on and was winning race after race, he racked up all kinds of points. He had actually accrued more points than some of the guys that had started way back in Daytona. So Boehner is he's a beast. I mean, he's very, very hard to handle. He's very, very hard on himself whenever he makes a mistake. So we'll have to see. Combat Beast saying, I'm kind of wondering what's with the blue schemes. I don't know. I didn't actually notice that until you just said something. But yeah, I do see Smitty here in a blue scheme. Of course, the 84 is in a blue car. Kind of go through here.
Smitty's actually run that paint scheme earlier in the season. I think it's a Dale Jarrett throwback or something is what he was trying to do. But I'm pretty sure he ran that paint scheme before. He might have ran actually the spring race of Martinsville, if I'm not incorrect on that.
Anything's possible. And if that's the case, why not bring it back for part 2 and get it done? He's saying usually Parzival's runs a black scheme. I've got to agree with that. He runs a black and silver scheme every now and then, kind of black and gold, smoky Unique kind of scheme. A little bit of instability right there in the lobby as we look on with the 9 of Q-Dog. But Swat, so who do you have for tonight? You're normally out there racing with these guys toe to toe. Who's your favorite?
I mean, before the race started, I would have said it would have probably been Boehner and Bowling. Bowling, I mean, he was really good in the spring. He helped me out in the spring. He tried to help me is what I can say, because it really didn't help me any because I can't get a hang of the track. But he was really fast. Watt and him are really close. Watt's extremely fast on the track, as we found out on Sunday when he lapped the entire field and at one point had us all 2 laps down. So I would have probably said Bowling or Boehner, which it looks like Boehner's kind of running away with it right now. And I can't tell where Bowling at. I'm sure he's probably in the top 5, though.
Right now,
so those would have been my 2 picks.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, if you were to go Boehner Bowling, you'd be 100% right. Boehner's in first. He actually just put Cowboy Matt a lap down. Bowling's in second. Cheese is in third. Parsifal's in fourth. And Mike Honcho is in fifth. I was actually just running a few practice laps with Mike to help him get into a little bit of a groove before this kicked off. And I was asking what kind of laps he was running, and he was running some pretty impressive lap times. So not too surprised to see him right now in the top 5.
Yeah, Mike's actually come on strong a little bit the last few weeks in the playoffs. He's been running in the top 5 most of the races. I'm not exactly sure what his finishes were, but I know majority of the races that I was watching, he was definitely in the top 5 for a lot of the race. Cheeseburger's the same way. He pretty much is in the top 3, top 5 the entire race, and then either has a out of sync pit stop or a bad pit stop or just something happened. He just doesn't get the top 3 finish.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed that Cheese, Master Killer, which unfortunately he's not out here tonight, and Q-Dog, they've been bitten by that fuel mileage bug many times, and where they've run extremely strong. Like I go back to Michigan. Q-Dog was up front leading laps. Cheese was right there with him. Match Killer was there with them, but they just quite weren't able to get it done because of fuel mileage. And that's where Fatless Dig was able to get on, and I think it was Crone Capone out there in chat for that race saying that Fatless was in first, and I was kind of wondering how he knew, and then he just put it out there in chat that he was in the party with him and Boehner and a couple others. Helped me out that night because otherwise I would have been searching for the leader all that time because of all these custom cars these guys run, and I wouldn't have known until their finishing menu came up, and I would have found out that way. So it would have been very anticlimactic, but we were able to call the right guy at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Cheese, I mean, he's run 13. He's had 13 starts, 10 top 10 finishes, 3 top 5s, and 3 poles. He's got an average finish of 8.9 though. So normally he's up front. He just doesn't have the last short run or pit stop run. That last one doesn't seem to fall in his favor. Did Asco lag out and Papa Bear lag out? Because they are not moving on pit road.
Yeah, Papa Bear. I'm gonna guess something happened when he was going through his changes menu, because I saw him actually pull down pit road. He didn't just quit on the track or anything like that. I saw him pull down pit road. It was right where he would have been good to go on gas. It would have been the only stop he had to make, and then all of a sudden, I never saw him on track again. And then looking at Asbel's car, that thing is just flat destroyed, sitting there on pit road. So I'm going to guess that something happened with Asbel. So there's 2 cars out of the race. We only started with about 10 of them. So with 2 out, that's not going to leave a whole lot of wiggle room for points. So what we were talking about earlier about Asbel, Parsifal, and Fatless, knowing that they're racing for a championship next week, it doesn't leave a whole lot of points on the table tonight for Bowling and for Augustus. I mean, Augustus is too far out in points. Bowling might have had a chance if he, took stage 1, took stage 2, and of course, maybe a second in the win to somebody else or something like that. He might have had a chance. I don't know though, but we'll have to see. With 24 laps to go, stage 1 is coming to a close in a hurry. They're only running. They're running about 20 to 21 second laps, so it's not going to take them long to knock out this race tonight and move on to it next week.
Yeah, it's going to come down to Boehner and Bowling on which one of them takes the win based on what I'm watching on the track, because they both are flying. So it's going to depend on which one of them can come to the end and be the winner, because if one of them's not, the other one probably will be, which knocks one of them out. So if Boehner wants it, he's going to have to go in take it from Bowling, and if Bowling wants it, he's going to have to go take it from Boehner.
Well, wondering what happened with Asbel, and there he is out there in chat. Says, gotta love when your dog knocks the router off the table. Yeah, you kind of do. Although I've had that happen to me before. My dog actually no, I take that back. It was the cat I had at the time went underneath the a desk and hit the switch on the end of a surge protector, shut it all down on me. So yeah, I've been there too, Asbel, man. But yeah, just kind of hang out and watch these guys for the last bit. It should be pretty good. But as you said, right now Boehner's got a firm grip on the field. I know that he's put Cowboy Matt at least one lap down, trying to see if there's anybody else around him. Still just a 98 of Bowling right behind him with about, what do we got? Bowling actually just got
18,
by Cowboy.
18.
Say what?
Is it 18 or 19 laps?
I'll tell you right now, yep, 19 laps to go. Gonna get back in.
And Bowling almost looks like he's trying to run that old Rusty Wallace paint scheme.
Say what?
Bowling's paint scheme kind of looks like the old Rusty Wallace paint scheme.
Let's go ahead and actually find old Bowling right now. I'd have to agree, either that or South Point Chevy. But yeah, pretty
It
close.
could be.
Yeah, I'd have to go with Rusty. Rusty was very, very good here. Let's see, and yeah, why not tune in your inner Rusty if you can. Where Combat Beast is saying maybe a Davey Allison. That's another one that
It could be too.
absolutely could be. Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to look at it and see, because Rusty's was a little darker on the bottom, so it might be a Davey Allison one, actually.
Yeah. Either way, it's a nice scheme. I love all the attention to detail, the time and the effort and all that a lot of these guys, yourself included, put into their cars for the Xfinity Series and the Truck Series, while in the Cup Series they mostly run the actual paint schemes for those drivers. A few do run some customs, like I can recall the 3 of JCX12 running a beautiful black and white with a red stripe up the side. I think it was at the Glen, if I'm not mistaken. And I got to say that's probably one of my favorite paint schemes for the entire season. I told him I wish he'd run that for the rest of the year, but he had some pretty good ideas for some other cars as well.
Yeah, it's I can't say I'm too excited about the NASCAR Heat 5 booth, but I mean they did a little bit extra. At least they listened to the number stuff where we were talking about the shadowing behind the number and being able to change the rim colors of different stuff other than the 6 or 7 that we had. But I don't know. I kind of wish they would go a little bit more custom with it so we could actually get some real details with it, but I understand in the past games it got way out of hand with people uploading pictures and immature content and stuff like that were on cars, and with all the broadcasting and viewing that we have on Twitch and everything like that, running cars with some sort of immature content would not be proper.
I get you. Yeah, I remember those cars back on NASCAR 09, which was the last game you were actually able to do things like that. And yeah, there were a lot of pretty vulgar cars out there. As it just that time by, there was about 11 laps to go. Again, thank you very much, Cowboy and Boehner, for allowing us to tag along, and thank you very much for streaming. So we have an idea. Actually, there's 9 to go off of Boehner's stream. Cowboy is 2 laps down.
Fatless is pitting.
Yeah, they were all going to have to pit. I don't think any of them really could have saved the 5 or 6 laps, except for maybe Boehner. He might be able to save it and go the rest of the way.
Boehner, I think, carries an extra jug of gas inside the car with him and just reaches over and pours it in. I don't know how he saves the fuel he saves, but he is really good at saving it. If you go down to 5 laps that you need to save, Boehner's usually there for 5 laps.
Yep. It depends if you're really disciplined on it. I don't know if he's taken some pages out of Dohar's notebook or what the deal is, but Boehner has been very, very good at saving gas, and actually he also just put Cheeseburger a lap down as well. So I think right now only about the top 5 are on the lead lap. Your top 5 right now is Boehner. Then you got Bowling about 4 seconds behind. Augustus a little over 7 back. Parzival about 9 seconds back, and Smitty a little over 12. So I can at least tell you that your top 5 are all still on the lead lap. We'll have to see if Boehner's able to duplicate what Watt Racing did to the truck guys on Sunday night. He put everybody but second place a lap down or more. That was a phenomenal beating, if there is such a thing. I mean, he drove his butt off, and he's in the right place at the right time, knowing that he's got to go against Asbel for the Truck Series Championship starting. Yeah, just not starting it. Next week. So next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we're crowning 3 brand new champions, unless the Aviator and Watt Racing are able to repeat.
So I don't know if Bowling's got enough fuel, but based on Boehner's stream, he's got 2 extra laps. So he's saved enough. Based on how he's running, it looks like he's pretty much clutching it the whole way around the corners and then getting on it. So he's got enough fuel now.
Yeah, Bowling's back there in 5th. They've got 2 laps remaining, and I tell you, Boehner's fuel light's not even on. So he has been saving a ton of gas this entire race. Cowboy Matt's car, it's just wicked evil as he's actually Boehner's actually coming up on him. He better hope that he's not too loose. Nope, Cowboy's just going to go ahead and let the 28 of Boehner go. So,
he's pitting.
I didn't think you were allowed to pit with.
Yeah, that's not allowed.
Yeah, but
unless.
Well, on his stream it says 3. So, but no.
Yeah, I was gonna say Boehner hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Well, no, Boehner just ended.
Yep, Boehner just took it. So Boehner's he's gone ahead and ran the gauntlet on stage 1. Got max stage points. He's looking pretty strong. But now, Swats, we're going to rack and stack them all back up here. Unfortunately, this isn't the night race. I would have preferred they ran a day race earlier in the season and saved the night race for last. But these guys, they're getting it done. He's down pit road right now, getting a little extra, a few extra changes. This might actually be where some of these guys are able to get in front of Boehner. If they went down pit road before, they wouldn't have to take as much gas, where Boehner's got to go down, try to get all of his adjustments in now, where some of these guys might already have had half of them, and they won't have to take as much gas.
There's only 4 on the lead lap.
There you go. Yep.
Top 4 are pitting.
Augustus, Honcho, and Smitty. You got that right. It looks like Cheese is going to be the one to get his lap back. So coming back to green, it's going to be the 28-66 of Mike Honcho. Back to green. Have to see if Boehner be able to slide away the same way he did in the first stage.
Bowling just went 2 laps down because he had to pit. He didn't get a lap back, so he's now back in 9th with 2 laps down.
Wow. Talk about just a bad turn. You're running P2. You come down for fuel, and all of a sudden you're dead last and a lap down. So I'm guessing those are with. I know that Cheese got his lap back, so he's the P5 car right now. Smitty's in 4th. Gustus is in 3rd, and again Mike Honcho started right next to Boehner on the front row.
Yeah, the first car a lap down now, I think it's Q-Dog.
I was going to say either Q-Dog or Parzival is actually running pretty well
it
right
could
now.
Be Parzival.
He's ahead of this pack. Looks like Matt's going to take his 19 car down pit road again. I'm guessing he either loosened it up too much or didn't quite get in all the changes that he wanted. He knows that he's already lapped down. He's wasn't in position for the free pass. Might as well take it down, fix it up, tune it up, come on back out, and be a bit more competitive. That car was bad loose rather, and not in a fast way. Battle back here now between Bowling and the 84 of Cheese. So we'll have to see how far Bowling is able to make his way up through the field. He's got a fast car. He was only a few seconds behind Boehner for that entire first stage. About the only one that was able to semi keep up with him. Have to see if he's able to work his way through traffic here, Swats.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Bowling can come back up through the pack and get these laps back. And if Parzival is a lap down, it's going to be interesting if he can get his lap back. It's kind of the same as Sunday, where everybody got trapped a lap down or more, and then it was just no cautions. We only had the stage break, and everybody always had to pit at the end of the stage, so kind of tough to get your laps back on this track with somebody running as good as Boehner is, same as on Sunday with Watt.
Yeah. I've pretty much just stayed on that 98 of Bowling over these last several laps. He picked up Cheeseburger, put him behind him. He picked up the 81 of Smitty, put him behind him. Now he's right on the back bumper of the 11 of Parzival, and he's going to do his best to get under and around him. Here he is showing a fender right now. Parzival's going to be a little bit stronger off the corner, but Bowling is going to stay low. Should be able to outbrake him, getting into the corner. They're going to go through side by side. Parzival up high. 84 is going to try to follow the hole that the 98 created. 98 should have that position. We'll see if Cheese is going to be able to get by the 11 as well. Alf York out there saying this is like deja vu.
This puts Augustus in a good spot with if Boehner has a mess up or caution comes out or anything like that. Augustus is right there with Boehner to try to steal that fourth spot from him.
Yeah, he is. As the points continue to scroll across the bottom of the screen, y'all can all see what exactly Swats is talking about. The points in some instances are actually not, they're not unequal, depending on how the stage, this next stage goes. If Boehner's not able to grab max stage points here, and someone like Bowling or Augustus does, that could make things a little bit, difficult for Boehner. But again, only Asbel, Parzival, and Fatless are racing so far for a championship next week. Boehner and Bowling, they're both trying like hell. Augustus, Cowboy, I don't think Cowboy's really gonna have a shot tonight, unfortunately. But Q-Dog, I think he might be a lap down if I'm not mistaken. Right now, I can still only see the top 5 from Boehner streaming. That is Boehner, Mike Honcho, Augustus, Cheeseburger, and the 81 of Smitty still on the lead lap.
Yeah, I think it's based on doing the points in my head. I think Boehner's got it by points. It's going to take somebody winning it to take it away from him out of the 6 that are still in it.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they're going to be able to get it in points because Boehner just won that stage. Bowling finished 9th in that stage by being laps down. Gustus finished 3rd. So points-wise, I don't think anybody's going to catch Boehner, and unless Gustus, Cowboy, Q-Dog, Bowling get up there and get the win, it's Boehner's to lose right now.
Yeah, once Boehner got up there, led those laps, and took stage 1, it was pretty much game on from there. He knew what he had to do, but there's still a lot of laps left to go. In fact, next time by, see Boehner at the stripe that time, I think it said 49 to go. It's funny, I just looked at it a little bit ago. It seemed like it said 80 to go. And yeah, I mean these guys are. I mean, I could have been reading it wrong. The screen's kind of small, but yeah. Let's see. This time, I just called a lap. I'm calling it again. 48 remaining. That goes to show I wasn't even able to complete a sentence, and he was already back around at the stripe. So I was able to get a better lap count. But yeah, Boehner's up front doing what he's got to do. In fact, you know what? I'll actually go ahead and pull up Boehner's stream for everybody so you can see exactly what it is he's seeing, what he's doing, where he's kind of letting off, where he's able to get back on. You kind of pay attention to the tack just a little bit. Here you go. Now I know you don't have any game audio. You can only hear me. But just for a lap, kind of see what Boehner's doing. You can see the top 5 in the top left screen. There he is across the stripe, kind of somewhat hard on the brakes going into 1 and 2. You can see his car is pretty free to where he's able to get through the corners in a pretty smooth manner, not really loose off the corner, able to control it all the way around. That's another lap led by the one and only 28 of Boehner with 45 to go. All right, and we're back to the stream, keeping an eye on the 8 car of Augustus, Cheeseburger, and Bowling are right behind him. Another few battling it out.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I mean, I do want to see Boehner and Bowling, one of the two of them get in. I mean, I kind of do have a little bit of a lean towards Bowling, just because we were Team Ramrod to begin with at the beginning of the season. Even though we weren't after about midway through the season, I'd still like to see him get in. But Boehner's been tough all season since he got in.
Yeah.
And him and Asbill going back and forth. Bowling does have 5 or 6 wins, so it'd be nice to see Bowling get in there.
Yeah, Bowling's absolutely very, very strong, very clean. He's not one of those guys that after the races you're hearing a whole bunch of griping about in our chats on Facebook and whatnot. It's not somebody that a whole lot of people have any kind of issue with. He's actually really, really good, really clean. He's pretty fast. Just didn't work out for him this year. You know, Boehner and Asbill and a few others really stole a whole lot of the spotlight, but Bowling has been there every single week.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the one car I'd like to see get a win, even though he's not in this playoff run, is the 66, being in second place right now with Honcho. He's been there all season. He's been clean. He's never really, like Bowling, never really gotten into it with anybody. Just goes out there, races hard, doesn't really complain, doesn't really, blow up the chats or anything like that. And here we are, the second to last race of the season. He's not in the playoff run, but he's here running, and he's running second.
Yep. Concho's having a great race. Before all this kicked off, I'm not sure if I told you or not, or if you were here at the time, but before tonight's race, he said, AP, do you mind kicking off the lobby with me just to get it started? You don't have to stick around. And I said, yeah, sure, not a problem. Got in. He got into a little bit of a rhythm. Might have just wanted to try out 1 or 2 small adjustments that he had on his mind before the race kicked off. And yeah, like you said, here he is running second, 7 seconds behind Boehner right now, and doing everything.
Yeah, I think we should stop talking about him because he looks really loose right now.
Well, I was
really
actually
loose.
back between the 84 and the 98, a little bit of a battle there. So you can't blame me.
I'm watching him go into the corners, and he is just drifting it around the corners, going in. I thought he was going to dump it a couple times the last 2 or 3 laps there.
Yeah, he was having a conversation with Boehner about his wheel, and wondering if there might have been a firmware update for it or something like that. If he just got it and he's never connected it to grab any kind of a firmware update from Logitech's site, then there could be one. But if he has connected it at some point and he just might have made some kind of an adjustment in the past that he's forgotten about, and he kind of needs to get it back. He was talking to me about some of his brake adjustments for here and a few other places in order not to lock up the tires getting into the corners. But yeah, I see what you mean, man. He does look he's looking kind of awful right now.
Yeah, he's in the wall. He's I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's lag or if it's him, but it looks like he is just really hooking it to the left, going around those corners, and the back end is really coming around on him.
Yeah, I'm going to guess that might be a little bit of instability. I can't see somebody being that fast all the way through, keeping up with Boehner. You know, the last time I mentioned he was 7.2. Now he's 7.7. So he's lost a few tenths to Boehner, and he's starting to fall back into the clutches of Augustus by a little less than a second. And you see that 8 car start to creep into the picture. So Goose is definitely running him down a little bit, but Honcho's still running some really competitive speeds.
Yeah. Hacho definitely will want to get up into that second spot and wait and see if Boehner makes a mistake. And Bowling's probably back there just grinding his teeth, waiting for cautions to get back on the lead lap. Because he's definitely reeling in Augustus and Hacho too.
Yep. I'm gonna actually try to switch my streams here. I'm actually gonna go back over to Cowboy Matt. Unfortunately, he doesn't have that stream up, so I'm not quite sure, who's where. I know who first through fifth is off of Boehner's stream, but I'm not quite sure about sixth through 10th right now. So yeah, we'll have to see. But about 20, I think this is going to be 29 laps to go. Yep, 29 at the line that time. I can tell you that Q-Dog is in sixth as Boehner's actually caught up to him. And he looks like Q-Dog's going to go ahead and pull up and let the 9 go. Yeah, I think he actually just put the 97 of Parzival a lap down as well. Good thing Parzival got it done at Michigan, so he didn't really have to worry about tonight. Those guys are ready.
That's the 11.
Atlanta. Say what?
I said Parzival's the 11.
I'm sorry, 97 Fatless. Excuse me. Sorry. Yep. Yeah.
You're good.
Just got by the 97.
It's hard to keep track of all these numbers in different series.
Yeah. And you know what? That whiskey kind of added them all up. I'm not sure if he just did them all in his head, being a math teacher and all. But he said by the time that this season concludes, there would have been a total of 108 broadcasts for all 3 series. That's a lot of racing. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of people that have come and gone. A lot of laps. A lot of tracks. I mean, a lot of change. But yeah.
I think this is the 33rd race of the season for Xfinity. So 33 for trucks, 33 for Xfinity, 33 for Cup, plus the All-Star races.
Yep. Yep. The All-Star race. You had the duels. You had, I don't know. But is it 33 or is it 36?
It might be 36, but some people only have 33, so that's what it's going with. But.
Fair enough. Oh yeah,
they might have missed one there.
Yeah, you could just go to nnrleague.com and pull it up right there. You'll know exactly how many races each series has run. I mean, you could go to the Cup page and look up the highest.
Yeah, this is the 33rd.
Say what?
This is the 33rd race for the season for Xfinity.
So, yeah, it's a lot of races.
Q-Dog has run 32 starts and he has not missed a single race. So this is the 33rd.
That's awesome. Coey needs to create an Ironman award and get that out to Q-Dog if he's the only one that's made every single race. I think that's definitely very warranted.
Yeah, he's the only one I see with 32 starts.
I'm gonna have to get with Coey.
There's a couple with 31s, but he's the only one I see with a 32 right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get with Coey about that. Work out something special for Q-Dog. Maybe get him a gift card to the Zazzle tab on nnrleague.com, and maybe say, hey, go ahead, pick something else, something out for yourself. I don't think Coey's gonna buck up for a hoodie or something like that, but something. I think he deserves it to make every single race. That's a lot of dedication.
Yeah, Watt. He must be missing a couple races or something because Watt has 34 starts.
Watt has 34?
Yeah, I don't know. Did Trucks have an extra race, or maybe
Yeah,
Q-Dog didn't start
yeah,
the first
the,
race of the season.
yeah, I don't know. So maybe it is. So 34. That might have been.
Q-Dog might not have been here for the first race of the season.
Yeah, that might be.
But Watt's been here every week. He hasn't missed one. So he ran 34 races this season for the trucks.
That's man, that's a long time. So you figure 34 by 3 would be 102. Yeah, so there. Yeah, and then you take into consideration the duels and the All-Star race and whatnot. Yeah, you're talking about a race. Let's see. So back to
Stout had to have used his calculator.
What's that?
Stout had to have used his calculator on that one.
These guys are in the teens now, about 16 laps remaining. Let's see, I'll grab it again here. Yeah, 15 to go. And I tell you, we were talking earlier about Boehner really, clutching it and doing whatever he could to save some gas. I'm going to switch over to his stream again. Check this out. All right, so right now he's coming off 3 and 4, heading down across the line. You'll grab your lap count right here. 14 to go. Look at that tack dive all the way to the bottom. So he's been clutching it, and throwing in neutral as often as he could to save the laps. There you go again, all the way down under $3,000. That is exactly how you save gas and try to get it done at the tracks where fuel mileage is an absolute factor. And just like that, talking about how quickly these laps are clicked off. We've been on him just talking about his tachometer for 2 laps. So yeah, definitely getting it done. Good job again, Boehner.
Yeah, it's showing 13 laps left in the stage. He's got 13 laps of fuel left, so.
Yep. So Boehner should be pretty good to go. Oops, I didn't bring back.
If he keeps clutching it like that, he's gonna have plenty of fuel.
There we go. Oh yeah, if he keeps clutching like that, he could start the next stage.
Yeah. He could trap them all down and pit right off the bat.
Yeah. Alpha York says he's determined to lap the cars ahead of him. Well, let's actually go back to Boehner and see what he's got. Now he doesn't have anybody ahead of him right now, and I'm not getting a top 5 from him anymore. He's obviously still in first. He's definitely gonna lock down first place stage points as he came to complete yet another one. Okay, there we go. Goose is in second. Mike Honcho's in third. Cheese in fourth, and Smitty is in fifth with 9 laps remaining. So 9 more laps for this guy, and it doesn't really seem like anybody's going to be able to touch him tonight, Swats.
No, I don't think anybody's going to be able to get there. Like I said, it's going to have to take a miracle, I think, to get him to get at least behind a few of these guys, and it's going to take probably a few cautions to get a couple of these other fast guys back on the lead lap to get them up there to be able to battle them. I mean, I feel bad for Bowling because he was definitely right up there with Boehner with speed and being able to keep it with him, and then getting trapped 2 laps down. It reminds me of Sunday, so I'm starting to have some flashbacks of the nightmare from Watt. So
a little bit of PTSD.
A little bit.
Oh man, yeah. You mentioned Bowling, and he was actually the very next car that I came to. He was right behind the 9 of Q-Dog, whole line of cars as they just went across the start stripe to start yet another lap. But stage 2 here is winding down. Speaking of stage 2, don't forget on Thursday night, guys, as you see right underneath the, talking about basically mentioning that tonight is the final chase race in the eliminated round that we're going to be getting to Atlanta next week to crown some champions. But on this Thursday night, when our Cup guys take to this track, the race is going to be worth $80 to somebody if they can correctly choose the top 3 that HD Motorsports and I will be talking to in the booth when it's all said and done. Nobody able to pick the correct top 3 for weeks now. There's always been somebody in there that was not picked, and that prize pool has just grown and grown and grown. Big thanks to J-Pa and Boehner, the leader of this race here, for donating and putting all that together. As we're watching Boehner come to the start stripe right here, and that is going to complete stage 2. So big congratulations to Boehner for grabbing max stage points in tonight's race so far, and just waiting on some of the other guys behind him to come across the stripe to finish it out. But man, the guy's been fast all night long, able to get it done, and that's pretty much been it. Unless that was a 7, not a 1. No, he's still under power. Okay, now he's at 1.
I was going to say, they're still going.
Yeah.
So,
I'm not quite sure.
I say Bolin's turned about 3 laps since you said it was the final stage. I was like, well, I don't know if that's possible.
That's the end. All right. So, again, big congrats to Boehner for knocking out both stages, max stage points. Now the only way he's not going to get into this championship is if somebody else comes up and steals the win, but he's definitely got enough points. But yeah, like I was saying, this Thursday night, $80 Microsoft Cash could be in your pocket if you're here before the end of stage 2 and you are the first to correctly cast the vote of who of the 3 drivers that HD Motorsports and I are talking to at the end of the race. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Let's go to NNRLeague.com, since we were talking about that a moment ago, and take a look.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat Preset League on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRLeague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, they're lined up and back at it. It's going to be the 28 of Boehner and the 8 car of Augustus. Augustus really dove it hard into turn 1 right there. There you see the 66 of Mike Honcho, and let's see, that was the 11. Nope, that wasn't the 11. It was actually the 81 of Smitty to kind of challenge Mike for just a little bit there. 84 of Cheese to his outside, so everybody's racked and stacked back up. Brand new tires, full tank of fuel, and this last stage is 105 laps, Watts.
Yeah, the 6th position is now Bowling's. He did get the free pass, so he is up to 1 lap down, and he will be the first car 1 lap down if a caution comes out, which I'm sure he has every finger and toe crossed that one comes out. Looked like, I forget who was it was in 6th or 7th. I think it was Q-Dog that had 2 laps down.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you right now, with this 98 of Bowling, he is all over the back bumper, the 11 of Parzival. He's actually going to dive it on down, try to come up underneath the 11, try to get the 81 of Smitty in the same corner, and he actually does it. A little bit of a slide job to get to the front of, or get in front of that 81. Big old, as HD would say, power move for that 98 of Bowling. Moving on up. He's moving over to the west side. He wants a bigger piece of the pie. He wants to race for a championship next week when we get to Atlanta. Just like as we said before, he wants to join Asbull, Parzival, and Fentless. There we go.
Yeah, he needs a quick caution though. Quick caution, get that free pass, and then be on the same pit strategy as the top 5, and then I'm pretty sure he would pull an Asbo and go from 6th to 1st real quick, or 6th to 2nd at least real quick.
Yeah, he's definitely got a fast car. We've seen him make incredible moves. He wasn't only passing guys like he just did right there, where he just did it by just simply out braking and getting under the guy to the outside. But he's got a quick car to navigate his way around the track as well, as he's starting to dial a beat in on this 84 cheeseburger.
Yeah, I think it was back at Darlington where I was actually in the booth with you again, and Asville had an accident from first or second with Boehner and went back to like 11th or 12th on a restart, and just quickly within like 8 laps went right back to the right back to the front and took the lead from Boehner.
Yeah, when you got a fast car and it's handling the way that you want it to, anything is absolutely possible. Even at a track that's so single grooved as Darlington, when it'll handle in both the dirty and the clean air and it's fast, it's kind of neutral. You can get into and off of those pretty interesting corners without getting that old Darlington stripe. Yeah, you can do a lot with a good handling car.
Yeah, I'd really like to see Bolin get back up in the mix of this, because it doesn't look like too many people. I mean, Gustis is kind of hanging in there, but he's losing time to Boehner. Honcho's staying right behind the Gustis. Cheese is right there with Honcho. Smitty's right there behind Cheese. So it'd be nice to see Bolin get up there and somebody who looks like he has the same kind of speed, same kind of car that Boehner has, to get up there and challenge him, because Boehner's just running away.
Yeah, Vader's absolutely on a tear. I'm actually I'm on the track view for Papa Bear right now, and I'm kind of just watching these guys come down the stripe or come across the stripe for the most part, nose to tail. At least the first 6 or 7 cars are, and then Cowboy Matt and Fatless Dig a little bit later on. But as Bader comes off of 4, it really looks like second place is actually starting to reel him in just a little bit. It's getting it seems like the time difference is getting closer and closer. And when I look at Boehner's stream, he's three seconds ahead of Augustus right now. Actually just extended it to 3.2. I'm guessing Augustus had a bad corner, but still top 5.
Yeah.
Boehner, Augustus.
He lost 7/10 in those 3 laps.
What's that?
He lost 7/10 in 3 laps.
Yeah.
Boehner pulled away 7/10 in those 3 laps, so he must have had a couple bad corners. Because he actually backed up now to Honcho. Honcho's right on him.
Yep, Mike Honcho's right on him. Then it's Cheese, and then there's Bowling, Parzival. I see Q-Dog, Cowboy, and Fatless. A little bit of side-by-side action right there, going into 1 and 2, and here is cycling back around. It's the 28 of Boehner. So this is actually a pretty good camera position, with Papa Bear. I wonder if I can get the same thing with Asville. I wonder what his camera. No, never mind.
Actually, if you go to the Asville camera and you do one more past it, where you're looking from the front of the car, you can kind of see all the way down that front stretch.
Oh yeah, there you go. Looking backwards. Yeah.
Yeah, you're almost into the turn 1, right into the corner of it. So.
Yeah, there you go. A couple of different angles, courtesy of a couple of guys that, Asville's pet knocked everything out once he knocked his router off the table, and Papa Bear must have had some kind of issues. Maybe he backed out instead of hitting A or something. Not 100% sure, but can't fault the guy or say anything. He's been here for a lot of races where a lot of guys haven't been. So I've got nothing but respect for Papa Bear.
Yeah, Pete Boehner just extended it to 4.5, so he's almost got the entire straightaway to himself.
Yep, on him right now, looking backwards as he comes across the line. You can just now see somebody coming off 4. So he's got a good third of the track all over himself.
There's about 86 laps to go.
Yep, we're counting down. They're counting down pretty quick too. Again, these guys are turning laps in 20, 21 seconds. It's going to be kind of interesting to see what the Cup guys are turning in.
Oh, Fatless just smashed into Boehner. I don't know if he hit the wall or spun off of there, but Boehner just ran right into him. He's got some damage now.
see that the hood's all crumpled up. That Ally car is definitely looking better. He's gonna get into the corner, put 2 up on the grass, 2 down below, which is actually kind of dangerous. You can easily spin out right there. Stout is he out there in chat saying he was gonna join, and then saw that you were here and holding it down. So yeah,
He's welcome to join us.
Yeah,
We could have the
Stout,
3 Musketeers in here, 3 Amigos, whatever you want to call it.
Yep, Stout, you're welcome to join. You know that.
He can get in here and do his math whiz. Try to figure out if Boehner's going to be able to save fuel.
He says your voice is sexier than his anyways.
I think that's very much a lie.
I tell you. Gonna keep on going through. Seems like Boehner's starting to catch up again to the Cowboy machine up here with 81 laps remaining. I'm pretty sure Cowboy's probably just going to pull up and let Boehner go on by here. I would imagine probably in turns 1 and 2, just kind of say, yep, I'll stay high. You go ahead and take it on down low, and yeah, that's pretty much gonna be it.
Yeah, Boehner does have some damage from that because Fatless came right off the wall right in front of him. So he's got some damage. I wonder if that's going to allow Goose's to...
We got cars spun around on the backstretch. Caution's out. What?
Ooh, there it is.
Caution's out. This changes everything for bowling.
Yeah, that's what bowling's been hoping for.
Boehner may not have wanted to see that. Caution's out with 79 laps remaining here in Stage 3. This could be a big game changer. We saw how bowling was working his way through traffic. He's got a pretty fast car. So, man, he's going to be able to contend with Augustus and Cheese and Mike Honcho and Smitty. So we're putting bowling back on the lead lap. I think besides Augustus, he's the only other one still in contention to try to grab a race for the championship next week. So
yeah, I'm sure bowling is very excited about that caution.
I
mean, I'm excited about it because I'm happy that he's back on the lead lap and see if he can fight his way back up here and challenge Boehner a little bit.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Looks like Fatless has something wrong with his car because he's diving all over the place and hitting the wall.
Yep, I'm actually I'm on him right now. I'm gonna try to watch as he tries to navigate his way through traffic, and he's got to try to do this as quickly as possible. He can't allow Boehner to gain too much of a lead. Boehner's got a fast car. We can't take anything at all from him. So Bowling needs to get up here and try to work his way past Mike Honcho, past the 84 Cheese. Great wreck avoidance right there. The 66 and the 84 kind of got into each other. Bowling's going to be able to dive on down underneath the 84, come off the corner. 84 is going to have the launch off the turn. 84 is going to have a line possibly to the inside. We'll have to see. Nope, Cheese is not going to give him corner. They're going to stay nose to tail, but he got past Mike. That's going to put Bowling in P5.
Yeah, I thought Bowling was going to be able to get by Cheeseburger there because his teammate Cowboy gave him a pretty good push into that corner that pushed him right up side by side with Cheeseburger, but Cheeseburger was able to drive it out of the corner and get back out in front of him.
Yeah. Stout's asking where everyone's at. Well, Stout right now, Boehner's in P1, Augustus is in P2, Smitty's in 3rd, Cheeseburger's in 4th, and Bowling is in 5th. Bowling is the last person. No, I take that back. There's one. Mike Honcho is in 6th. He's the last car on the lead lap right now.
I believe it's Parsival after that, Q-Dog, Cowboy, Fatless.
I like how you think you're talking to me out in chat, and I'm
Stout
in here with you guys.
Welcome, buddy. How you
there he is.
Doing pretty good. I'm tired, but it's part of it. I had to do some husband duties. That's where I've been.
Hey, man, life and family first. I've said it many, many times. Not only while we're offline, but when we're online as well. I get it, man.
Now he's going to sit back in his beanbag chair and eat Cheetos.
I wish I had a big beanbag, man. I actually looked at buying one. They're pretty expensive.
All the beanbag chairs we had as kids that blew up and broke and whatever. Now you got to spend a good penny to get one.
Yeah, I had an NC State one when I was little, man. I think it was like $20, and I looked at like a giant one. It was like $200. And my wife just looked at me like, "You're a freaking idiot if you think we're gonna buy this."
It would be a good chair to sit in.
Well, I tell you what, guys, with that caution coming out and everybody kind of getting racked back up, the 8 car of Smitty's kind of keeping up with Boehner right now. I mean, he's pulling away just a little bit. It's kind of been sticking between 1.7 and like 1.2, and then Smitty's in third, Cheese in fourth, Bowling's still in fifth. Bowling's lost about good half a second to Cheese, but we'll have to see how his car's been on the long run. He made some moves early in the restart when we kicked off stage 3. I think he tried to do the same right there, but Mike Honcho and Cheese weren't really having any of it, even though he was later on able to get past that 66. But yeah, Boehner,
he's to the bumper of Cheeseburger now.
Huh?
I say he just used the bumper on Cheeseburger right there.
Yep.
He's trying to get by him.
Watching from the front view of Bowling.
Yeah.
He's able to
He
get
pushed
past
Cheeseburger into Smitty.
Gotcha. I'll have to see if Smitty kind of. Nope, Smitty's not going to return that favor. A little bit closer again. Just not quite able to get to the back bumper of Cheese. Bowling knows that he's got to go. If he wants any chance of working his way through the field, if another caution should happen to come out, Bowling has to go. He's got to do what he's got to do. I mean, after this, there are no other tries. You're at Atlanta Motor Speedway next week, racing for a championship, or you're not, and Boehner's in. So Bowling's got to maybe ruffle a feather or two, but I'm not saying wreck him by any means. You know, he's either running some old Rusty Wallace throwback or what you call it?
Davey Allison, I think.
Davey Allison throwback. I remember Davey getting using his car up a little bit. Definitely remember old Rusty using up his car, especially when it came to Dale Sr. So, hey man, you got to do what you got to do. Stout, let me ask you. You're in kind of a predicament when it comes to Thursday night as well. If it came down to it, I know it's just a cyber championship or whatever you call it, but you got that level of pride, you know, of hey, I did this as well. I didn't. You're gonna drive like a madman all season long, but if it came to it, 3 laps to go, would you put the bumper to somebody if knowing that getting in front of that person meant you were going to Atlanta to race for a championship next week?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, I think using the bumper is a little bit different than, you know, throwing in the corner underneath them, dive bombing them, and running them off the track. I mean, this is a short track. It's hard to pass in the Cup cars. Practice with the Aviator, and we've taken turns. He's faster than I am. But, I mean, I got in front of him. He let me in front of him, and he couldn't pass me, even though he was probably, you know, a half a tenth or a tenth faster than me every lap. He couldn't pass me flat out. So, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have to use that bumper if, you're behind someone that's quicker than you, if they're not gonna yield that position. But yeah, I'll definitely use my bumper if that answers your question. But as far as driving the 12 car lengths deep, no, I will not do that.
Yeah,
Harry said Rubbin's racing.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend, just going full bore into a corner and just running off the track or wrecking them or something like that. Just a little bit of a tap, get him off his line, get under him, get by, and move on. But then you just got to hope that you're able to get away with enough speed to where that favor can't be repaid, or maybe just a little bit more strength, maybe. But it's man, I can't. This race has been pretty clean. Only that one caution after that we just saw. Other than that, it's been Boehner in stage 1, Boehner in stage 2. Boehner's leading right now. He knows what's on the line. I think he put in some extra practice time this week, knowing that he had to win or one of the 3 that have already won during this round had to win in order for Boehner to make it through on points. So there was a lot on Boehner's shoulders this week.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, on the Cup side, I've got a 2-point advantage on him right now for the transfer spot, and then I think Rowdy's 10 points behind me. So us 3, even if we don't win, we're within 10 points of each other, and you can't count Dohar and Ingles out neither, because that's how this format is. It's winning you advance. So that they haven't had the best of luck in the first 3 races, but they can come out and set the Martinsville on fire on Thursday, and they'll be racing for a championship next week at Atlanta.
Wow, guys.
Pete, I'm going to call it now by saying Stout's going to have some brake failure going into the last turn if it comes down to it.
Guys, take a look at this battle for the lead. As we've been talking about Boehner, Goose has actually run him down. Goose is getting into the corner and off a little bit better than Boehner is. I'm guessing maybe Boehner has made a change to that car, and it is not handling the way that it did during the first couple stages. Goose is right on his back bumper coming through turns 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Boehner's trying to do everything that he possibly can to hold Goose off. Stout, check this out.
Yeah, it looks like Boehner's car's gotten a little tight, and that's why he's dominating the corner a little bit more. I don't know if you guys noticed that. He's drifting up about a groove, so Goose will have to fit his nose under there, and we all know Goose is not afraid to do that. But, if Goose tries to pass him here straight out, it's just not going to happen, because Boehner's going to better get that run off the corner by diamonding it like that.
Yeah, it looks like Goose is really diving it in there.
Exact thing as you did in chat. He's trying to diamond the corner. But by him doing that, and Goose is really just rolling the corner and getting back on the gas, he's actually getting into and off of just a little bit better. Goose was a good second and a half, almost 2 seconds behind. He's run him down. Oh, Stout, do you need an invite to the race? I didn't even think about that until just now.
I'm watching it on your Twitch, man.
Okay.
It's all good. That way I can try to talk to people. But it's just Beast. What's up, Beast?
I think Boland's getting a little tired of following Cheeseburger, and I think he's going to have to make a move here. Maybe do a little more than he wants to do to get by him, to get up there. I think if he could get by Cheeseburger, he could catch these top 2.
Well, if Goose continues to worry Boehner the way that he is, Boehner may make a mistake. Maybe he'll get too hot coming off the corner, or Goose will be able to dive it in. But at this distance, if they go into the pits and come out of the pits the same way they are, you know damn well that Goose's will, just like we talked about with you, Stout, he will use that bumper, move Boehner out of line, get himself by, and kind of go from there. I mean, he's there now. He could do it if he wanted to, and he seems like he's faster than Boehner if he can get in front of him.
Yeah, and if he's dominating the corner like this is telling me that he's definitely running a higher preset than Goose is. That's why Goose just came back to him. And then he's down in the corner, so he's not turning so much off the corner. He's driving it off the corner to keep it from spinning.
Oh, man, Goose is having to use so much brake right there in order not to get into the back end of that 28.
I think Goose is trying to stay off of him, but I think after a certain point here, he's going to say, look, I'm faster. I got to get by it. So we'll see if he does it. I wouldn't fault him for it.
Honestly, Swats, I would do that now. I would get up there and be the first one to get down and off the pier. Try to build a little bit of a gap. Yep. So try to build a little bit of a gap. So Boehner now and Goose side by side. This is for the lead. Goose is going to have the entrance in. Boehner might be able to get a little bit of a better exit. Nope. Goose is going to go ahead and rock it off. Guys, this changes everything. If a Goose is now able to pull away, he'd be the first one to get into the pits with a little bit of space. So if he can get up a good second and a half before they got to go down pit road, for 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods and 2 cans of Sonoma Race Fuel, that might be all it takes. Man. And
Don't look
this,
now,
but
Bowling got by a cheeseburger.
there you go. So, and the battle between the 28, as 28 starting to look a little loose. What you call it? The battle between those guys will definitely allow Bowling to make up a little bit of time as well. As you see, Bowling right now, he's got that 28 in his sights. He could easily reel him in. Combat Beast is saying Boehner sounds like he's saving. It's very possible, Combat. The only thing is, nobody could make this on one stop. When we took the green, there was 109 to go. But I don't know. Let's see, he's got 31 laps of fuel in the tank, but I think he's still got about 58 laps to go. You can't save that much.
Yeah, he's got to do it again.
There's Rock out there saying, keep digging, everyone. Lots of laps left. Yep. Yeah. Now his tank is saying, I'm sorry, no, it wasn't 57. It was 37 to go. So 37 laps remaining here in the race, and he's got 30 in the tank. What do you think, Stout? You think he can use that shifter in the clutch and save 7 laps here at Martinsville?
Times 2, I think you can. Times 3, it's especially with this low amount of laps. It'd be close. You'd be within probably two laps, 2.5 laps. But yeah, times 2. I don't know, man. He might be good.
I don't know if
he
you
can
can be able
just
to
clutch
save
it right.
that much. If he was starting from the
especially
beginning
this
of
late in the run,
he might have been
Yeah.
able
Yeah.
to. Being this late with 30-something or 50-something laps, I don't know if you can be able to save it.
Well, we see Bowling coming. Bowling's going to have to work his way on by Cowboy. Cowboy's actually going to go ahead and pull up, let that 98 of Bowling go. So now Bowling sees the 28, 34 laps to go. He's got 27 in the tank. It's counting down. I don't think he's going to have enough. If I was him, I would just get on down pit road, knowing that he's got a pit. Get those 4 brand new tires on. Just take a half a can of gas. Don't even have to take that much, and come on out.
Oh.
A little bit of contact there between the 98 and the 28 that time. 98's going to get on by Boehner as well. Boehner's still trying to save, or actually is he going to? I thought he might come down pit road right there, but nope. He's going to continue on track.
Yeah, I think he's heavily saving.
He's doing the fuel thing now.
Which it's going to be interesting to see if Bowling can get up to Augustus, because that's where it's at between these top 3 right now. Whichever one of them wins is in.
Yeah, well, Goose has a full straightaway on Bowling. Bowling has come back from 2 laps down through the stage break and the caution on track not too long ago. Boehner now saying 31 to go and 25 in the tank. It's really going to be tight. I don't know if Bowling knows exactly what Boehner's trying to do. Maybe he thinks that something happened with his car, got too loose, got too tight, having some handling issues. Maybe he's having an issue. Maybe he didn't pick last time. Who knows? What'd you say,
Bowling just overrated instead of cheeseburger.
Yep.
I still think, Augustus can run his car dry and then just take half a can and be fine. That'll definitely give him enough fuel to get to the end, which will be about a 3.5 second stop. So,
yeah, but you still got that long, slow 35-mile-an-hour drive down pit road in order to get there. So Bowling's in, Cheese is in. Just saw Boehner go by once. Now Boehner knows that right now he's in second. He's got 28 remaining, 23 in the tank. In the last,
it's going to depend on where Bowling comes out and how fast he gets back by Augustus to get his lap back.
Let's see if we can catch up to Bowling here.
Because if he's in the pits now, if he goes 2 laps down like everybody has been and once they pit, if Augustus goes in for a half tank like Stout said, I don't know if Bowling, if he gets by him real quick and gets down to 1, I don't know if he can make up
okay,
full
so
lap
now
like that.
but okay, so now we're talking about a half can, and would you take right tires, hoping that
No.
sometime during the week you practice that, or if you're taking 4 tires, you might as well take a little extra gas, although you want that car as light as possible on those 4 brand new tires. Try to rocket some really fast laps. Yeah, a couple different ways to go around it, or go about it rather.
If he's only taking a half can, you don't take tires. If he was taking a can, maybe take right sides, but if he's taking a half can, you want in there as short as possible. Get in and get out.
Well, you guys then, in your practice, whether in Cup, Xfinity, or truck, or whatever, were there any tire issues during this week while testing at Martinsville?
Pete, I finished 5 laps down in the truck race. There was tire issues all day long.
Fair enough, buddy.
There was no. I burned up the right front pretty much the entire race until midway through the 3rd stage when I finally figured out a little bit. But I couldn't get that right front from stop.
I tell you what, Boehner is trying to clutch this so hard. He's clutching it halfway down the straightaway, halfway through the corner. Looks like Cowboy's just kind of sitting there behind him, not even really trying to pass him. 22 laps remaining in now and 19 in the tank. Now, I'm kind of curious, with all this clutching, he's not going in. When Bowling went in, did he take 2 tires, maybe gain a little bit of speed on this 28? Will he have enough to catch him? It's going to be, so much could happen here.
Yeah, Bowling definitely took 2. Bowling definitely took 2 because he pulled away from Augusta, so definitely got some fresher rubber there.
Yep.
Now, does 1 can get you 30 laps of fuel?
Say what?
I'm not sure, lots.
I can't remember what 1 can gets you for fuel. So if he took 1 can and had enough fuel to end the race, you take the right size and be done. That's an 8.5 second stop.
84 Cheese just pulled over and let Bowling go. And I think Bowling can actually now see the 28 of Boehner ahead of him. Not quite sure 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th with Bowling pitting. Oh boy, he's definitely catching him. But I just don't know if he's a lap down.
He's definitely a lap down.
Yeah, he's definitely a lap down.
Yeah. That's right. We just talked
it's
about
going to depend on whether or not Boehner can save.
Yeah. We just talked about that whole
going back to the
distance and time down pit road while he pit. Yeah. Man. 18 to go, 16 in the tank. So he's definitely saving some gas. He is absolutely
he's going to make it. He's going to make it.
Yeah, I don't think Bowling's going to be able to pass him and come back around. It's not enough time. Not in 15 laps or 17 laps.
Bowling's on, getting closer and closer to his back bumper now. He just got past the 19 of Cowboy. They're going to go into turn 1 and 2, no tail. They're going to come off. Bowling's going to be just a little bit quicker on the entrance of 3 and 4 because Boehner's going to go ahead and clutch it right about there. Yep, Bowling's closing in, going through the corner. More than likely, Bowling's going to have him by this next turn. Yep, here he goes. So with that being said, I think we're looking at 15 laps to try to come back around. As hard as he's driving, he's still got cars that he's got to try to get by. So Bowling right now is actually showing in 4th. Augustus is what? Goose is 1st. Wait a minute, what?
Augustus is lapping Boehner. I know.
So
yeah.
Has Goose pit?
Yeah. No, Goose hasn't pit yet.
No, Goose has not pit yet. I think he's going to do what Stout said, run it to empty and just take half a can. But he just put Boehner a lap down, so.
And the plot.
It's going to be really close for all 3 of them. There's 3 different strategies. Boehner's trying to save the entire thing, and Goose is trying to run it out, get the half a tank. Bowling went for 1 can, 2 tires. 3 different strategies for 3 different guys fighting for that last position.
Yeah, very, very, very different strategies, guys. This is awesome. I gotta say, yeah, Combat Beast saying Bowling is gonna make up a lot of time after that while Boehner is saving, and now he's saying Bowling's not gonna make it, so he doesn't think that Bowling's gonna be able to make it back around. But yeah, if Goose just put Boehner a lap down, he could go down, take a splash, come on back out, and have maybe right side tires if you spend 7 seconds, 3 of which, I don't know. It's really, really sketchy. But
Boehner's about a half a lap less or short right now.
yep, he's got 11 in the tank and 11 to go, so he's still got to save just a little bit.
Yeah, if Goose just wants to, because Goose is going to have to pit for a splash of fuel. He can't take tires. I mean, he's just going to have to take a half tank, it should be about 3.5 second stop. To see where that puts him on the track. I mean, Goose is probably, just staying out and hoping for a caution here. I mean, if caution comes out, this is a wrap.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. 9 laps remaining. 9 in the tank for Boehner. I'll actually go ahead and pull up Boehner's stream here for you guys. You can see exactly what he's doing, how
Goose is
he's.
pitting.
What's that?
Goose has just went to the pit.
Goose is pitting. All right. So.
8 laps to go.
Yep. Let's see. Well, Boehner has gone into the last couple corners and he has not clutched it in either. So he must feel pretty confident about what he's got left in the tank and the laps. He feels he should be able to get to the checkers. But Augustus is good 15 seconds ahead. Now cutting that down. Boehner has just passed him. So
yeah, Goose is coming out now.
Yep. So if Goose is coming out right now, he is, let's see.
7.5.
Straight away ahead, behind.
Yep, 7.5 behind. And at the line this time, we're looking at 6 to go. I think, Stout, I think you're right. I think that it's gonna be a wrap. Talk about a couple of different strategies between three different guys. All the gas that Boehner had to save in order to make this without having to stop after that caution. It would have been really interesting to see what would have happened if that caution did not fly. So everybody would have had to come in, but Bowling would not have gotten that lap back. But that 8 car was definitely coming. I think Boehner would have had his hands full with that 8 car tonight.
Well, the cool thing is, no matter how this ends up finishing up, it was cool to see 3 different guys doing 3 different things, trying to get into the championship. So, that's what you expect. I didn't get to watch the truck race, but I imagine there was some of that stuff going on in the truck race, and you can bet your ass there'll be some stuff like that going on Thursday.
No doubt. 3 laps remaining here with this 28 car. He's got the series admin, old Smitty, right behind him. Augustus is running second. Bowling is running third. Honcho is fourth. Cheese is fifth. Another good run by Cheese. But the 3 guys with the 3 different varying strategies are going to finish first, second, and third. So how about that, guys?
Yeah, Bowling's about 1.5 seconds behind Augustus now, but he's still 11 seconds behind Boehner, so he ain't going to make that up.
Now, Boehner's back under full throttle. He knows that he's got what it takes in the bank the
last lap.
Yep, he just took that. He took the white flag. Here it is across the line, guys. And yeah, we're gonna see a Boehner, we're gonna see a Parzival, we're gonna see an Asbel, and we're gonna see the one and only Fatless Dig all race for a championship next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Oh man, it's gonna be that's gonna be a lot of fun. We've had 2 cars that have been very, very dominant all season. We've had Boehner and Asbel. We've had Parzival. He has been in the hunt every single week. I don't know how many times we talked to him. I think when he got his win, I went over his numbers with him while we were covering second and third, and then of course Fatless Dig getting it getting it done at Michigan. He's not going to be any kind of a slouch either. I really think that all 4 of those guys are going to put in a ton of time during this next week. Of course, we're still going to see Boehner on Thursday night, so he's going to get a few more laps under his belt there to maybe see if we can find something. Who knows? All right, let's get back into our post-race booth here and wait for a few of these guys. Again, big thank you to Boehner and Cowboy Matt, or NNR Cowboy, for streaming tonight, allowing us to kind of ride along, keep up with the laps and the different strategies that we're working out.
I wish we could have got Bowling and Augustus in here.
Well,
just to be able to talk to them too, so because the 3 of them racing for that final spot, finishing 1, 2, 3, all 3 running different strategies. It's a crazy finish to the end of the season for one last race to go, but it's crazy.
Well, no, Bowling
all 3 guys fighting for that.
Will be here. They finished 2nd and 3rd.
Oh, yep, never mind. Yep.
Yep.
Wasn't thinking on that one.
All right, buddy. Good luck, man. I hope so, Stout. I really do. All right, so we see Boehner here in the booth. I want to back out. Although I love Michigan, I don't want to go there right now. Boehner, can you please remind Goose and Bolin to come on up, please?
Yeah, I don't know if they'll want to hear from me. I mean,
yeah,
I love them, but I wouldn't want to hear from me if I was either of them right now. So we'll just see if they come.
All right, there's Goose, just waiting on Bowling now. Goose, you finished 2nd, right?
Yeah.
All right. Come on, Bowling.
I don't know if he's going to come. I hope he is.
Yeah, I hope so too. There he is. All right. So now we got all 3. Swats, you were an advocate for Bowling all night long. Why don't you go ahead and pick him up?
Bowling, I was definitely pulling for you all night. You and Boehner looked like the top of the class first 2 stages, and Goose, I told Pete, I was like, Augustus is probably going to come out of nowhere, and then all of a sudden, boom, he was there. And then I watched you go 2 laps down, and I'm like, God, I'm like, he's praying for a caution, and then boom, caution comes out. I'm like, he's back on the lead lap, watch out. I don't know what else you could have done. All 3 of you running 3 different strategies, the 3 of you fighting for the last position to get in. It was so close. Is there anything else you could have done besides maybe wreck Boehner to get him out of there? I don't know what else you guys could have done.
If I could have figured out how to save 12 laps like he did, then maybe.
Yeah, we were watching that. He looked like he was, what was he, P? He was clutching like almost right at the halfway of the straightaway and rolling it somehow. But, Bowling,
to me, that's not racing. That's, I don't know. It's frustrating because to me, like I said, in my eyes, that's not racing. Racing, you're on the gas, you're going for it, you're getting it. He had a fast car. He had no reason to save like that, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I've been on the end of that fuel saving as well. I'm not a big fan of fuel saving, even in real NASCAR, watching all Keselowski's wins with all that. But, I mean, you had an amazing season, top 5 all season in the points, right there at the end of the season for the Final 4 spot. I think you're probably just going to miss it by just the win, but you and Augustus being the past champion, you guys all 3 fighting it out. You gave us one heck of a show on the broadcast. I'm telling you, watching that broadcast, watching you go through the cars that you were going through, starting in the back, getting your lap back, and then having to do it again with getting the next lap back. I was definitely pulling for you to come all the way through there. But definitely congratulations on a great season, and I'm hoping you come out and get that win in Atlanta.
I'm going to give it my best, and I'm going to be rooting for Parzival here, going to the final race.
Well, Bowling, I gotta kind of jump on what Swatch was saying right there, man. You had a hell of a race. You definitely had a fast car. Definitely saw you move your way through traffic. Every now and then, a little bit of contact, saying, "Hey, man, I got to go. Got to make up this time." Definitely great way to work your way to the front. But yeah, like Swatch said, Bain was saving quite a bit of gas. Didn't think he was going to be able to save that much either. At one point, it was saying like 31 to go, and he only had like 24 in the tank or something like that, and was able to knock it out. But yeah, you could definitely come back next week at Atlanta Motor Speedway, and then if you take that checker and one of the guys that are running for the championship don't, that's kind of saying, hey man, this is what it could have been. And I know that you'll be hopefully you'll be back next year and stronger than ever and ready to roll, buddy.
Thanks, Pete.
Any shout outs from you, Bowling?
Again, shout out to you guys for broadcasting. That's about all I got. It was a rough one out there.
Man, you definitely worked your butt off today. We saw you, again, coming 2 laps down to be in contention, finishing top 3. That's a hell of a drive, Chapman.
Thank you.
Got it. All right, Goose, you got me, buddy.
What's up? Yep.
Goose, I was watching you after the caution came out, the restart flew. You started on the outside of Boehner. Boehner kind of drove away. You fell to about a good 2.5 seconds back behind him and thinking, all right, well, he pulled away before. There's going to be Boehner. He's going to be gone. He's going to check out. And all of a sudden, I'm looking at Boehner's stream, and I start seeing it come back from 1.5 or 1.6 down to 1.3, 1.2, 1.4, 1.1. It's like, all right, what's Goose doing here? And you're starting to reel him back in. At what point did you think to yourself, or if you did, that Boehner was starting to save, or was he just maybe falling off, or did he hit a couple curves? Maybe did he smack the wall trying to get back into the gas a little early? Where did you think to yourself, hey, if I can save a little bit, maybe just like he's doing, or if his car's falling off and mine's great on the long run, where did you think that you might have had it?
Well, I did have a good long run car. I thought maybe I could keep up with him on the long run. That was pretty much my only prayer. Was the hope that it went green, which it did. Like I said, I think I had a really, really good long run car. I started catching him, and I like I said, I think I could keep up with him in the long run, but he just on the short run, he just got such a large lead. But I knew pretty shortly that shortly after that though that he was saving. We were in the team chat. We were talking about like, well, we don't know if he's gonna actually be able to save 10 laps, etc. And I was just like, I wasn't gonna win doing the same thing he did. At least that's what I felt like. So I just ran it all out, and I was going as hard as I could. I actually ended up saving about 5 laps, but it wasn't enough to go the whole distance. But I figured my best chance was to run as hard as I could and put him a lap down. As it is, I did a splash and go, and he was passing me like right when I was coming out of pit road. So I mean, there's probably not much else I could do. I mean, he was just head and heels above the field, and that's about it. I mean, I know I felt like I could keep up with him in turns 3 and 4, but at launch he would get out of 2. Going into 1 and coming out of 2 was just ridiculous. There was no competing with that. But either way, I gave it all I had. There's not really much else I could have done.
Yeah, man, you definitely gave it all you had. I mean, I think you had the right strategy to go full bore, and once you realized he was saving, it just kind of worked out while following his stream. Right when you were coming out of pit road, is right about the time where he realized he had saved enough gas and was going right back at full mat on the gas pedal. So it's just the timing didn't quite work out for you. But man, great run, very very strong car. That 8 car was moving your way through traffic, just like I said. Same thing to bowling. Phenomenal race tonight, man. What do you think you're going to have for Atlanta?
Atlanta is a pretty okay track with me. I mean, I know I won at Texas early in the year, and they drive they're semi same configuration, and I do pretty well on the 1.5 mile track, so I figured I'll be there to compete, and we'll see what happens. I think I'll be good enough to compete, and maybe come out with a win, but we'll find out at the end of the race next week.
Well, one more question before any shout outs. I asked some of the guys in the truck race what they thought about Atlanta during the Pro League. If you watched it, it was a whole lot of bottom feeding going all the way through the corners. Do you think we'll see the same thing in the Xfinity race, or do you think we might see a middle and a top group kind of come in as well, to where it won't just be a whole lot of racing or single line racing on the bottom through the corners?
I think there is going to be a lot of bottom feeding. It's going to be prime real estate pretty much. I mean, I remember the last time I went to Atlanta, I was able to get like a lane up and kind of get runs off the corner that way. But it's not something that I don't think I'm going to be able to run a lane up the whole race. You know what I mean? I'm just going to have to use it situationally. But pretty much probably going to be mostly bottom feeding. But I'll try and make. I mean, if everyone's on the bottom, I mean, you got to try and make the high side work. And if I can use it situationally and get a run here and there and make it work at the right time, then that would be something to strive for in that race.
Yeah, it would be a whole lot better if it didn't come down to who could hold their line on the bottom the best. I'd love to see some great side-by-side racing for the championship race, rather than just getting down to the bottom, hold your line all the way up. But we'll have to see. But yeah, man, any shout-outs from you?
Yeah, shout out to Bump and Run Motorsports. They've been there the whole season in that team. Shout out to you guys for what you do, and shout out to NNR, and keeping the good races coming. Shout out to the Heat 4 as well. They should definitely add in a quarter of a tank splash rather than just a half a tank, quarter of a gas can splash rather than a half a gas can splash, because I think I maybe would have been able to sneak out in front of them if it was a quarter of a tank, but half a can was just a little bit too long.
I hear you, buddy. Man, congrats again on a stellar run.
Yeah, I got a question for Augustus, Pete.
Go ahead.
So we heard from Bowling. He said he's going to be pulling for Parsival in the Final Four that made it. Anybody that you're pulling for in the Final Four or anything like that? As you being the past champion, now you got to pass the torch per se.
Actually,
anybody you're thinking about?
Well, I was second in the points last year. So maybe I was a champion.
Sorry.
But I mean, I led a good portion of that race, and then sped on the pit road on the last pit stop. So that's pretty much what I handed it to Smitty. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, probably Parsival. I mean, nothing against the other three guys. But the Parsival, we kind of took him into our team chat. So I've gotten to know Parsival, worked with him a bunch the past handful of races. So I'll probably be rooting him on.
It looks like it's going to be Parsival versus essentially 3 Rook Racing drivers. So.
Yep.
Rookie Racing, I tell you. Well, Swat, you grabbed third. I think this is going to be the first time you ever get to interview the winner, isn't it?
I believe so.
Oh, there you go. Go ahead and tackle this Boehner guy from San Francisco, California.
Boehner, I mean, you've had an incredible season. Looking over the stats and stuff, you and Asbill pretty much have gone on a tear since you've come into the league. Going from, I think you guys joined at week 7, week 8, somewhere around there, week 9. taking over the points lead from Augustus, who had it pretty much 3/4 of the season until you took it. Winning a bunch of races in the playoffs, you and Asbo swapping basically who wins this week and who wins next week. Asbo lagging out, or not lagging out, but I guess his dog turned off his router. But, I mean, you had an incredible car for the first and second stage, and then it looked like you got a little loose on the third stage. And then Pete and I and Stout were watching, and it looked like you were saving pretty much from like the halfway of the front stretch and the back stretch going into the corners. I mean, what do you want to say about your season, your playoffs, what you're expecting for Atlanta, all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, more importantly than my season or any of that, I mean, huge tip of the cap to Parzival Augustus Parzival too, and Bowling. I mean, I wouldn't probably want to get interviewed after, something like that. So I totally understand where his frustration's coming from there. And, honestly, I'm in such a weird spot there, knowing that, I mean, I felt like on speed I was good. Kind of like Augusta said, I could really get away, and it seemed like I could sustain a 4 or 5 second lead, so I was really not thrilled with the cautions that came out, because then it made it a situation where I know Augustus is on a shifter, and I know he's good at saving fuel, and I didn't know if he knew whether he could save 12 laps or not, and so it's weird because I go 20 laps there, and I kind of got to make a decision, do I want to run the risk that he starts saving, and then he's only a second and a half back of me, so if I don't notice that he's saving quick enough, he could beat me that way, if he doesn't have to save as much at the end. So I was running through all the ways I could lose that race, and I felt like at least if I started saving first, that would be the best chance for me to win. And, it became pretty clear about 20 laps into my saving, he wasn't saving. But once again, I mean, once you make that decision, there's no going back. I knew I could save 12 laps. I had practiced it. But once you commit to that, you can't really go back on it. That's the worst thing you could do. So, yeah, it's annoying. And I wish I could have just taken off that third stage. No cautions could have come out, and that could have been it, I think. It could have easily been the same result. But unfortunately, one of my teammates almost wrecked me, and then the other teammate wrecked when that was the last thing I wanted to. But love those guys. But, yeah, I was about ready to strangle both of them there for a second. But
yeah, we
anyways,
did see that Fatless came off the wall, and you essentially ran right into him. It looked like
yeah,
you got tight or something right after that.
No, I actually didn't hit him. Alpha was watching the stream, and he said that on the broadcast it showed that I hit him, and I was like, no, I totally missed him. So, yeah, I guess on your guys' stream it looked like I hit him, but I was able to get slowed down and miss him, but it still cost me like 2 or 3 seconds, and that was a scary moment. But, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where if you know you can do it. I mean, Augustus actually did the right thing. I think probably once he realized I was saving, he just went for it, and I was in a really, really bad spot there for about 5 to 10 laps where I was a lap down, and I was really nervous that the caution was going to come out and I was going to lose that way, which I didn't think about when I first started saving. So looking back on it, I probably would have been better off actually just racing it out as hard as I could, because there never would have been a window, I don't think, where I would have been in jeopardy there. So, yeah, man, it's just tough. You're playing with fire either way, and I get the frustration from the other guys. But if it's anyone other than Augustus behind me, I probably just go for it. But I know he's good at saving also, so I just felt like I had to be the first one to pull the trigger on the saving. So, yeah, that's the race. I mean, that's the best I can defend my thoughts on it. Just trying to make it to Atlanta. So all these
What
guys.
are you going to do about Atlanta with 2 teammates of yours running with you, and then Parzival, who's been sneaky fast for the last about 12 races or so, and pulled off the win a couple weeks ago. So got any plans for Atlanta? Ideas? Like
I mean,
Pete asked,
yeah,
are you going to try to run the bottom or try to run a groove up or save fuel? You got
not
any
really.
strategies ahead?
No, I hate Atlanta.
Oh,
I really do. I feel like that's one of the worst tracks for actual racing because it becomes a situation where everyone's just glued to the bottom. I'm not sure what that's gonna look like, but yeah, it's cool that Fatless and Hasbill are there also. But I mean, just as easily it could have been none of us in there. Well, Hasbill probably should have made it in there, but even for myself, it took all the way to the last race to get there. So we're lucky that the three of us got there, and we certainly don't have a mindset of us versus everyone else, or we try not to feed into that at all. We like racing with everyone. If it were up to me, there wouldn't be any teams, and we'd all just work with who we work with throughout the week. So maybe that's something we'll do next year. But I definitely know that Bowling and Augustus are just as deserving of being there. I mean, they both have won several races and have been great. So it's just cool and I feel fortunate to be there. But Atlanta, we might as well draw names out of the hat as far as I'm concerned. But I'll do my best.
yeah, you final 8 that made it to the eliminator round. I don't think there could have been a better final 8, especially the top 6, top 7 there. And Q-Dog was sneaky, finishing up in the top 5 a few times there.
Yep, for sure.
It was definitely a toss-up, and then like Pete Stout and I were saying, pretty much that entire third stage, watching the three of you battle for the 4th position, and then all 3 of you being on 3 different different strategies. It was kind of a toss-up to see where it was going to come out and if you were going to be able to save and if Goose was going to be able to get out of pits fast enough or if Bowling was going to be able to make it up around with getting 2 tires and a can of gas. And it was definitely a good race to watch, especially that third stage with you guys battling it out.
Yeah, I feel like the only thing that, I rest assured in what I did is and this is no offense to any of the competitors, but I really do feel like I have Martinsville as one of my top 2 or 3 tracks, and I didn't feel like anyone was going to challenge me too much on speed. So fortunately, I feel like if those cautions hadn't come out, it would have been a lot better for me. So I'm just glad, it worked out the way it did, and no other cautions came out once I did commit to saving fuel. But yeah, if there's one track I had to pick for a do or die situation, it's either that or Dover probably. So I just got lucky. This was a track that was on the schedule at the end here.
Well, speaking of you 3 from Rook Racing being in the Final 4, we did ask Stout earlier because he is battling for the last spot for the Cup Series. With Atlanta being the last race of the season, there is no more, there is no tomorrow. If it comes down to it, will you give a bumper to Hasbill or Fatless or Parsival?
No, it's not that important to me. Like, I love racing in this league. I love the community. I love the guys I get to meet and race with here. I enjoy the guys on my team, and I'd rather keep it all that way. You know what I mean? It's not worth messing up friendships over a game, in my opinion. So it just be I'll race them hard, but I'm not gonna do anything desperate or different from what I've done all season in both Xfinity and Cup here.
All right, well, back to you, Pete.
All right, man, Swats, thank you very much. That was great questions. Banner, all I got to say to you, man, is congratulations. After after Pars and Fatless and Asbel got their wins, and you hadn't yet, and 3 different winners in the final elimination round of the 2020 chase here for NNR. Without you getting that win, I wasn't quite sure how comfortable you were going to feel coming into Martinsville. We've seen on Thursday nights where that last stage starting off usually threw somebody off, but this time round, after the caution and after the last stage break, you were able to get out to a pretty good lead. Only the 8 car Augustus was able to keep up with you at the beginning. We were all looking to see what Bowling was going to be able to do, trying to work his way through the field, and he started to. But my man, as Swat said, Great race tonight, man. Congratulations making it on to Atlanta Motor Speedway. You're going to fight for your first NNR Series championship. Who knows, maybe next year when or if we can get a hold of, or Stout or Coey or whoever got a hold of Kenny Wallace, maybe it'll be your name that he's shouting out as we're kicking off the 2021 season at Daytona. And I'd imagine it's probably only going to be about a month down the road, give or take. But, buddy, congratulations again on a very stellar performance. Great win. Any shout-outs from you, man?
Yeah, just shout out to you guys as usual, and all the guys I get to work with and talk to throughout the week, whether it's Rook Racing or other guys. It's it's been fun running in this league, and really I did have to win this race to even get to Atlanta, because if I didn't win, it was going to be Augustus or Bowling, obviously. So feels good to get there with the win and have the fastest car and probably be as prepared as possible for any circumstance. So feels good to actually execute that.
All right, buddy. Swats, thank you very much for coming and hanging out tonight. Always a good time, sir. Definitely welcome you back next week if you want. For the truck, I know Coey's going to be in the booth with me for the trucks on Sunday night. If you want to come out, hang along, tag along, whatever you want to do, the door's always open to you, sir.
I appreciate it, Pete.
All right,
I'll
but
probably be running Sunday for the truck, so I'm not going to bail out of it. So
fair
I'll probably
enough.
run that one. I might jump in here Tuesday instead of running. I'm not sure yet, but we'll see. It should be good racing on Sunday and Tuesday. And good luck to Boehner for Thursday, since Martinsville, he said, was one of his favorite tracks. He is 2 points behind Stout for the fourth position to go to that Final Four as well. So he could be possibly a two-time champion, just like Asbill could be a two-time champion for trucks and Xfinity.
Yep. Anything's possible. You got that right. But that's going to be it for me tonight. Don't forget, Thursday night, I'll be back 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time with the one and only HD Motorsports. And as you saw all along the top of the screen tonight, there is $80 up for grabs on Thursday night. All you got to do is be the first one to correctly choose the top three that HD and I are talking to at the end of the race before the end of stage 2. So as soon as the stream goes live, you could pop in and say, you know what, I want Aviator Amore and Rowdy. Those are my top three. Pretty stout. And you know what? They were the top three that finished last week. So you never know. But come on out, hang out. HD and I love to chat with you. Who knows? You might be $80 richer, and we'd love to wrap that up as the season. But one more race next week for the trucks and Xfinity and Cup. That's going to be our championship week, all week long. Atlanta Motor Speedway, going to be a lot of fun, a lot of exciting racing. Be there, be square. Until then, please stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll catch you guys somewhere around the track. Later.